We want to welcome Wendy Weber of Foundation Beyond Belief, who will present the Heart of Humanism Awards.
Hello, everybody. I want to just start by saying I'm Wendy Weber, as you know. I am the Programs Director at Foundation Beyond Belief. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm currently talking to you from the occupied land of the Tonkawa and Sana people, which is currently known as South Central Texas. I want to thank everybody for joining us today as we celebrate our 2020 Heart of Humanism Awards. I also want to thank AHA for again giving us some space during their conference to present these awards. It's very much appreciated. Our Heart of Humanism Awards are we do them in order to recognize sterling service from Beyond Belief network teams and individuals, and to recognize extraordinary contributions to compassionate humanism. For anyone who doesn't know, our Beyond Belief network is a collection of teams across the United States and the world who are putting humanist values to work in their communities through service. Foundation Beyond Belief offers supports to these teams, like with things like grants and guides and visibility, basically just to help the team have a greater impact in their service. I don't have to tell anybody that 2020 was difficult. Our teams that were trying to do service, trying to make a more humanist place, had the dual obstacles of increased need and unprecedented changes to how we could serve our communities safely. So the teams that we're honoring today were able to do not just either create their whole brand new programs out of nothing, or had to totally reorganize their existing programs to continue doing the work. What everyone on this in this presentation has in common is that they saw problems in their communities, looked for solutions, and then implemented them, embodying humanist values. So I'm very excited to honor them today. I have several team awards to give out and 2 individual awards at the end. I'm going to do each team is going to have a representative that's virtually going to be receiving their award, which is going to be sent to them physically. Some of them have maybe already received their awards. These awards, the team awards, also come with grants to help them increase their impact from $50 to $250. So let's get started. I'm going to start with Rookie of the Year. This goes to Atheist United. Evan Clark should be here to accept it. He's their executive director. Rookie of the Year is an award that goes to the best team that joined our network during that year. To give you an idea of why Atheist United received this award, their first event that they submitted to us was a virtual 5K in May of 2020, where they raised $2,000 for the Black Skeptics Los Angeles Emergency Relief Fund. Then in June, they launched a food distribution partnership with the Los Angeles Food Bank, where they picked up food that from the food bank, and then they give away in their parking lot in Filipino Town. And that monthly distribution that they started back last June is still going strong and growing. They became one of our most active teams last year. In addition to the food security events, they continued to clean their sponsored 2 miles of highway in Glendale, and also did recordings for visually impaired folks for the Audio Information Network of Colorado. They were a fantastic new addition to our team, and we are so impressed and can't wait to see how your impact grows over the years. So welcome to the network, and thank you for all that you all do. Okay, so our next award is the Best Photo Award. This goes to the Humanist Alliance Philippines International. We have with us Happy's CFO, Mucha Venezuela, who, and she's here to receive the award. We really like to honor the great photos that folks are taking, because I think it's an often overlooked part of increasing a group's impact. Having a good photo, an eye-catching photo on your website or social media might make the difference between recruiting a new volunteer and having that greater impact. So it's a very important part of what you do on this like secondary level. The winning photo this year came from a Happy event where they distributed relief packs that included food and water to about 75 families affected by Typhoon Quinta, also known as Typhoon, I think it's Molave, depending on what part of the world you were in when it happened. This was this shows the teams actually getting in there, doing the work and distributing those relief packs. I'm sure those families very much appreciated the help at that time. So thank you. Okay, I'm moving on now to our Backbone Volunteer Award. This award is going to Central Ohio United Non-Theists, AKA COUNT. And Andrew Whitaker is here to receive the award. This award is, it recognizes a team that played a consistent and reliable volunteer role in a local organization. For this year's team COUNT, this description can be given on account of not one partner organization that they have, but 3 at least. Every month, COUNT volunteers go to Columbus Ronald McDonald House, which provides meals and housing for families of children being treated at nearby hospitals. They have been volunteering with this organization since 2013 and kept that going in 2020. Every month, they also volunteer at the Van Buren Center Shelter, which provides housing and meals for families and individuals experiencing homelessness. By the end of 2020, they had held a lifetime 71 events at the Van Buren Center, which is incredible. They also, starting in 2018, added an additional volunteer partner, which is the Adaptive Sports Connection, which is a chapter of Disabled Sports USA. This group supports folks that need adaptive equipment or instruction in order to participate in sports. And depending on the time of year, COUNT volunteers have participated in cycling, kayaking, sailing, and skiing. And I don't even know what other sports we might see down the road. All these events have been adapted for COVID. All of them had to be adapted, but COUNT members didn't miss a beat. And we are positive that these organizations appreciate their consistent help every month. I also am excited to give COUNT this next award, the Eat, Sleep, Volunteer, Repeat Award. This is given to the team that submits the most events during the year. In addition to what I've already told you about all of the work that they are doing, they've also organized Bleed and Feed events regularly, though the feed part couldn't really happen during COVID. They were still doing blood donations, which were very much needed last year. So all of these events put together in 2020, they had a whopping 60 events that they submitted, which just has an incredible impact in their community and enacting humanist values in their community. For our Gimme Food and Shelter Award, we are giving this award to Austin Humanists at Work. Virginia Miller should be here to receive the award, and she is the team's board president. The Gimme Food and Shelter Award goes to a team that has outstanding contributions to causes related to homelessness and food. Austin Humanists at Work has been doing giveaways for people experiencing homelessness in downtown Austin for years. In 2020, again, they had to modify their events. Instead of doing a giveaway line, as was their tradition, they started doing pre-packing packages the night before or the day before, and then taking them and distributing them by hand or with carts. They also added Eat Apart Together bag distributions. This was a government initiative to address the increased food insecurity in Austin. Austin Humanist at Work volunteers gathered every Sunday, including after their regular giveaways, to distribute eat bags. And each bag had 15 pounds of shelf-stable food. So they were doing at least 5 food security events a month. And that's not counting the prep. They also moved their Getting Naughty events to Zoom, where they knit and crocheted washcloths and warm items to include in their giveaways. So all told, they had 40 events that were addressing food and housing insecurity in Austin. We are thrilled by what an incredible impact they had on this really difficult issue, particularly last year. Okay, it's time for our biggest team award. This is the Humanism at Work Award. Again, this is going to Happy, and Matya is here to receive it. This is the award that goes to the team that donated the most volunteer hours during the year. As you already know, Happy was involved in responding to a typhoon, helping 75 families with relief packages. They also responded to the Taal volcano eruption and a community fire with relief. And then when COVID became an essential need in their community, they addressed it in a lot of different ways. They had events where they collected and delivered PPE and food to frontline workers. They worked to make sure remote mountain communities had things like baby formula and diapers, as well as food to get through quarantine periods. They also worked to give school supplies and resources, particularly for students that live in communities without the internet. They've had a long-term commitment to literacy, and they continued with that work, adding hygiene and COVID awareness information to those events. And they even still had a tree planting event amidst all of this work. We are so proud to present Humanism at Work to them. They've had such a busy year and such a huge impact, and we know that it's only going to increase as time goes on. So we're so proud of them and are just thrilled to see everything that you all have been able to do. So thank you. Okay, those are our team awards. We now have 2 individual awards. I have the Outstanding Leader Award. This recognizes an outstanding Beyond Belief Network team leader. This year, the outstanding leader is Sarah Ray, who is the co-founder and director of Atheist Community of Polk County in Florida. ACPC joined our network in 2019. They hit the ground running, logging 9 events in just half of the year that year. A lot of those were highway cleanups, but they did have one non-cleanup event, which was a fundraiser and in-kind collection for Hearth, which is a local nonprofit that supports housing insecure students. In retrospect, that event gives an inkling of what was to come, because in 2020, they hit the ground running addressing food insecurity in Polk County. They never haven't looked back. Sarah, with of course the whole leadership team there and their volunteers, formed a partnership with Street Warriors, which is a faith-based group that addresses food insecurity among housing insecure folks in Lakeland, Florida. They, by delivering food directly to them. They also launched an offshoot later in the year in Winter Haven, which increased the scope and impact of that program. They were part of organizing a new coalition with other nonprofits and community leaders called It Takes a Village, which was created specifically to address increased need in light of COVID. There they gathered things and stored them at a local church, and then were distributed them, literally taking them to people's homes and taking them directly to the people, filling a need for folks that weren't able to access traditional services. And they also formed a new partnership towards the end of the year with Salt of the Earth International to help create and distribute weekend food packs for 25 students at a local elementary school. This commitment and clear impact addressing food insecurity in Polk County, filling holes left by the existing food and housing insecurity, was why it was an easy choice for us to invite them to join our food security project that we launched earlier this year. Sarah's leadership and dedication to their mission is a major factor in accomplishing all that they were able to accomplish this last year and what they will accomplish in the future. I haven't even mentioned her work in advocacy, education, or her weekly talk show. We are thrilled to have Sarah and ACPC and our Beyond Belief network and community, and we can only look forward to what's next. So I'm going to give Sarah a little bit of time to accept this award.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting. If you ask my wife, I'm great at talking, but I'm not real great at taking praise. So I'm not really sure. This is awkward. And you left very little to say. We did so much over the past year, and you're right. It's such a team effort. Our board, my team, they're just the best. Becca and Rachel and Keith and Alec. And all the volunteers that it takes to make all of these things happen. Thank you all for trusting me with my crazy vision of let's just jump in and do this, and put a positive face on humanism and atheism, and really try to go out there and make a difference in people's lives. That's really the sort of vision that I brought to wanting to do this, and everybody just bought into that vision and that dream, and so it's inspiring to me to see the work that everyone is doing underneath that vision. So thank you, and I'll just close maybe by sharing a story, since I don't take praise well. I am a good storyteller. So I got a notification that I was going to be receiving a package from, I don't know, it was FedEx or UPS, FedEx, and from Canada. And I was like, who is sending me stuff from Canada? And I'm you don't click on the links, y'all. Be careful, because there's lots of phishing scams out there. But this one was legit. I checked it out, and it turned out it was the award from Foundation Beyond Belief. I was a little bit hoping that it might be a box of Tim Hortons coffee. It wasn't, and this is just as great. So thank you so much for recognizing the work that we're all doing down here, and very appreciate it very much.
Well, next time we know what to get you instead of. Thank you so much again for everything you do. We're just excited to see what's in the future.
Thank you.
All right, so I have one more award to give. This is the Heart of Humanism Award. This recognizes somebody who demonstrates humanist values. This year, the recipient is Leo Igwe. Leo is, Leo, on a kind of personal note first, Leo has an important role in FBB history. Before Ghana was chosen as the site for a Humanist Action Ghana program, Leo was instrumental in getting us connected to the right people there. So our program in Ghana could never gotten off the ground without him. So we have a personal history there that is very exciting. But also Leo is so much more than that. He is a board member of Humanist International and a chair of the board of trustees for the Humanist Association of Nigeria. For decades, Leo has been a human rights advocate in Africa, focusing on working for the rights of women and children accused of witchcraft and against harmful superstitious practices. As a result, he himself has faced persecution, harassment, and attacks himself, yet he continues his work. With this award, the 2020 awards, it's both about a custom of living and demonstrating humanist values, but also specifically what that person has done during that year of the award. So many of you are likely aware, in April of 2020, Mubarak Bala, who is an advocate for atheist rights in Nigeria, was arrested, presumably for blasphemy, though to this day he's not formally charged and his location is unknown, which is very scary. Since the arrest of Bala, Leo has been working tirelessly to secure his release, and supporting his wife and son. He's been working in Nigeria, coordinating a campaign there, as well as working with Humanist International on campaign strategy internationally. If you're in the West, not in West Africa, there's a good chance it's that campaign that is why you're aware of the situation. Leo, while doing this, he has not stopped campaigning against witchcraft-related persecution or his campaigns for the repeal of blasphemy laws and assisting others in risk at the same time. Leo's dedication to securing human rights, both at the individual level and at the societal level, beyond a shadow of doubt, demonstrate humanist values at work. Leo does his work in the context that many of us in the United States cannot imagine, risking his own safety time and again, battling for a more humanist world. We are honored to recognize Leo for his contributions to a just and humanist world. And I'm going to give Leo a few minutes to accept it now.
Well, fellow humanists, good afternoon. For far too long, people have suffered and died due to superstitious and irrational beliefs. And in far too many places, unconscionable acts of unreason have yielded unmitigated misery for persons of all creeds. Experiences of distress and pain and anguish linked to religious fanaticism and bigotry have created a gaping hole in the heart of many people that only acts of compassionate humanism can fill. Incidentally, these acts of reason-based care and solidarity are few and far apart. And this is especially the case in Africa, where horrific abuses linked to religious extremism are pervasive. In Africa, where ritual attacks persist. In over 2 decades of activism, I have come face to face with these horrific abuses. There have been cases where alleged blasphemers have been murdered in cold blood, and where suspected assailants have been set free by state courts. And we have a case, particularly in Mubarak Bala, the president of the Humanist Association of Nigeria, where a Facebook post led to his arrest, disappearance for several months by the police in Nigeria. And up to date, the police have refused to formally charge him or release him despite a court order. There are many people like Bala in too many places across the world who continue to suffer as a result of lack of compassionate humanism. So I feel motivated and inspired by this award. And in the months and years ahead, I will work to sustain the campaign for the release of Mubarak Bala, for the abolition of blasphemy laws, and for the respect of the rights of freedom of religion or belief, freedom of expression for both those who entertain faith, those who have faith, and those who have none. So thank you so much for this special award.
Thank you, Leo, so much for everything that you do. We can all learn so much about what you're doing, and you are right that you know, if there's anything we can ever do to support, you know, the entire world of humanists can support the work you are doing. So thank you for your compassion and for your hard work and for everything that you do.
You're welcome.
I want to thank everybody who came to help us support these wonderful teams and people. I want to thank AHA for giving us this time. And I want to encourage everybody to support the work of the teams and people that we've honored today, and also to just get out in your communities and do service. That's the best way to make the world a more humanist place. So get out there and do good.
Thank you so much, Wendy, and Foundation Beyond Belief, and thank you to and congratulations to all the wonderful winners.